Chapter 3. Shifting Directions. Mina traced the condensation on the classroom window, her breath fogging the glass in intricate patterns. Outside, a soft, almost mystical snow fell, covering the school grounds in a perfect white blanket. It was beautiful but also a stark reminder of how different everything was here. 2 weeks ago, she'd been visiting her grandparents and having fun building snowmen, sledding down the snowy hills and drinking hot cocoa by the fire. Now she was in Mrs. Davison's class in a quiet town with not too much going on. She was just hoping for a little excitement or fulfillment this freezing winter season. She glanced around the room, noticing the other students lost in their own thoughts. Some were doodling in their notebooks, others were whispering to each other, and a few were staring out the window, mesmerized by the falling snow. The room felt quiet and still, a stark contrast to the bustling energy of the Olympics. There was a TV playing games before class started for the kids to enjoy. That's curling. So cool how they slide the stones and sweep the ice. Mina's eyes lit up as she remembered something special. Oh my gosh, the Korean curling team, Garlic Girls. My mom told me about them from an old Olympics way back in 2018. I was only 4 or 5 then, but I still remember seeing them on TV. They all looked kind of like me with the same strong dark hair, and they were amazing. They won a silver medal. Mina smiled, remembering the pride she felt even as a tiny kid, seeing people who looked like her on such a big stage. They were so unfazed by how famous they got too, she added, thinking about how calm they always looked. They were pretty cool, Mina, Liam said, overhearing her. I remember watching them too. They had such a great team dynamic. Mina and Liam chatted a bit more. Their small talks had been getting longer and longer, and it was getting quite obvious that both of them had taken a strong liking to each other. Yeah, they were awesome, Sophia added. I wish I could be as cool as them. Both Mina and Liam were mildly annoyed that Sophia was joining the conversation, as they both wanted to have more time to talk one-on-one. Just then, Mrs. Davison walked into the room, clapping her hands. All right, class, listen up. For our science and design project, we're going to dive into the spirit of the Winter Olympics. The class quieted down, everyone curious. Today, I'm going to put you into teams, Mrs. Davison explained. Your challenge is to invent a brand new Winter Olympic sport. You can combine 2 existing sports in a very unexpected way, or you can come up with a completely new sport that would fit right into the Winter Games. The team with the most creative and well-thought-out sport will win movie tickets. A wave of enthusiasm swept through the room. Everyone started whispering ideas. Oh, fun. Maybe ice hockey with trampolines? Someone giggled from the back. Or extreme downhill kayaking. Another kid joked, and a few laughed. Could we make a giant snowball machine that launches people? A girl named Sam called out. Okay, settle down, everyone, Mrs. Davison said, trying to regain control of the class. Remember, your sport has to be safe and feasible. We don't want anyone getting hurt or breaking the laws of physics. She chuckled as she acknowledged the absurdity of some of the quick suggestions some of the students made. You'll need to create something to show us your sport, Mrs. Davison continued, her eyes twinkling. It could be a poster, a small model, or even a demonstration if you're brave enough. Mrs. Davison began calling out names. Anna and Svetlana. Anna immediately gave Svetlana a reassuring smile. Davy Stilayam Ito. Let's do this, she whispered in Russian, then switched to English. We'll think of something great. Svetlana nodded, her serious eyes still a little wide, but a hint of trust softening them. Mina, Mrs. Davison called next. You'll be with Rohan. Mina grinned. Rohan was super creative, especially with anything techie, and he loved sports too. This was a good team. And Maya, Mrs. Davison finished. You'll be with Liam. She glanced at her sister, who already had a slightly mischievous gleam in her eye. Liam, meanwhile, was already thinking about combining skill and art for their new sport. This was going to be an interesting project, full of different ideas and maybe even a little friendly rivalry between the various teams. They all wanted to get their hands on those free movie tickets. Mina's head snapped up. Maya and her always had a sense of sibling rivalry. Maya was everything Mina wasn't. Effortlessly cool, popular, with a head full of thick, dirty blonde hair and a confident laugh. And Liam. Liam was the reason Mina's stomach did nervous flips every day in class. He had a mop of sandy blonde hair, eyes that crinkled at the corners when he smiled, and a calm, easygoing charm that seemed to draw everyone in, including Maya. Mina tried to ignore the pang of jealousy that shot through her. She knew it was silly, but she couldn't help but feel a little envious of her sister's effortless charm and her ability to attract Liam's attention with almost no effort. Mina felt a familiar discomfort in her chest. She and Maya were sisters by adoption, but the invisible line between us and them still felt incredibly sharp, especially at times like this. Sometimes she felt a profound sadness, a longing for something she couldn't quite name. It was a consuming feeling that often hovered at the edges of her days. She wondered if she would ever truly feel like she belonged, like she was truly a part of this family. She watched Maya and Liam exchange a smile, already brainstorming, their heads close together. They looked so natural, so at ease. Mina felt a sudden jolt of jealousy, a familiar emotion that had been her constant companion since she was young. It was like a little bird fluttering frantically inside her ribs, trying to escape. She tried to focus on the project, to push aside the negative thoughts that were swirling in her head. Later, as Mrs. Davison handed out project guidelines, Mina couldn't help but overhear Maya and Liam's conversation. Bobsled freestyle, Liam was saying, sketching something on a paper. Like snowboarding but on a superfast sled. Imagine jumps, flips, twists, the whole nine. Maya nodded, her expression serious but her eyes sparkling. Yeah, and the costumes could be amazing. Really show off the style of the athletes. Mina felt a cold prickle of resentment. She had a smooth sense of grace to her always. Everything about Maya seemed to possess it, while Mina felt clumsy, forever out of place. Her own project, ski target shooting, suddenly seemed boring, unimaginative. She glanced at the snow falling outside, feeling more isolated than ever. The beauty of the snow suddenly felt cold and stiff, just like her.